Please remember to check your labels. Everything has milk in it. Alright, so I am about to go into my grocery store to do a mock 4-day resupply, which will simulate any resupply you can do in a large chain grocer. I happen to have in my town a Kroger, but a Martin's, a Giant, an Ingles, an IGA, any of those will really be similar. My goal is to find 4 days worth of food for about 2,000 calories a day. I'm aiming for about $60, so we'll see how close I get to that. When you're doing a grocery store resupply, I would recommend taking your food bag with you. Whatever you use for your food bag, just so you can kind of understand the space that you're looking to fill. So in the end, as a general rule, you'll fill your food bag and then maybe one other grocery bag, because obviously you'll have packaging you'll need to get rid of. So if you take that as a general rule, that'll kind of help in the future. So let's get started. Energy bars are a key component of our diet, so this is always my first stop. I check to see what's on sale before choosing what I want. I love carrying perishable foods with me on trail, so I always check for what's on sale or what's been marked down. If you have the time, explore new options. Many companies are producing really cool plant-based options that are trail-friendly. Restock your personal hygiene supplies. Split large bottles of generic ibuprofen with your trail family. Remember, most grocery stores do not carry small canisters of fuel. If you have the time, find a place to lay out your food. Make sure you have enough and reconsider your impulse choices. All right, I just got back in my car. I'm really proud of myself. It did take me quite a long time to figure everything out, but then again, I was doing some calorie counting and price checking while I was in the store. So normally this would not take as long, but I'm very proud of my spending, my efficiency, and I'm going to go over that all when I get back home. So I'll see you there. All right, so we're back from the store and I'm going to go through the resupply by meal and tell you what the calories are and why I chose the items I did, as well as I will list all of this down below. When I did the math, it came out to about 2,500 calories a day, so it's a little bit more than I was aiming for, so that was a success. So let's dive into breakfast. First thing up is coffee. Via tends to be more expensive. I did buy it on sale. And honestly, it's the only one I really like. So if this wasn't on sale, I probably just wouldn't have bought it this time around. And as for breakfast, I tend to avoid cooking that early in the morning. I don't really like the hot food or the time it takes to cook. So I like the easy go-to bars and such like that. These Belvitas are fantastic. They make so many different flavors, I believe all of which are vegan friendly. These ones are my favorite. They're the soft baked banana bread ones, and they actually taste like banana bread. And at 200 calories, it's a perfect way to start the morning for me. Luckily, there are 5 in here, so that means there's 1 extra that can be used as an additional snack over the course of the 4 days. Moving on to lunch, I have a quick lunch of street tacos with buffalo dip and hot dogs. If you've watched my Perishable Foods video, you'll know I am an advocate for packing out fresh food on the trail. So refrigerated items, they will keep for a couple of days. As long as you're not in an incredible heat wave, this will work just fine. So one of these hot dogs cut lengthwise inside of a tortilla with some of this plant-based cauliflower buffalo dip, which I did find on sale. will be the lunch. Normally I like hummus, but they didn't have anything on sale, so this was a good alternative. This pack of tortillas comes with 10. That means I can eat 2 of them for lunch with half of a hot dog and still have 2 left over to possibly use for a breakfast or a dinner at some point during the 4 days. Dinners can sometimes be a difficult meal to plan for a grocery store resupply, mostly because everything is in bigger portions. But if you do it smart enough, you can split something into 2 different meals. So what I found at the store was a Near East couscous, which can make easily 2 meals, and this banza something. Usually they make pasta. I found this, they make rice, and this also can be split into 2 different meals. And one of the reasons I actually chose this was because it was a rice type thing, which I tend to avoid on trail because it usually takes a lot more cook time to make rice, but the cook time on this product is only about 3 to 4 minutes, so seemed worthy. So with these dinners, I will combine them with, for each serving, a half a pack of a Knorr veggie dip side, which has a bunch of vegetables and seasoning in it, as well as one of the extra hot dogs. There are 4 for lunch and 4 for dinner. So I'll just cube that up into tiny pieces and add it to the dinner. All right, moving into snacks. I like to categorize my snacks into 2 different categories: the more nutritionally dense ones and the junk food. So first up, we have a berry blend trail mix. This has dried cranberries, blueberries, cherries, goji berries, almonds, and cashews. I did notice after the fact that I had yogurt covered blueberries, so I'll simply, in this case, I would find a friend to help me eat those because dairy. But this is about 200 calories per serving, so it's a lot of good stuff going on there. Next, no matter whether or not they're on sale, I will always buy these if they are available. These are the Nature's Bakery brownies. They're 200 calories for the whole package, and they're just dense and chocolatey and absolutely amazing. They're also really good for you. I've got a lot of really good things in there. And I would normally pair this with a packet of nut butter. Normally I use the Justin's packets, but I actually found this cool Kroger brand pouch, and weight-wise and price-wise, this was actually cheaper than getting the equivalent of the Justin's packets. Plus, it's resealable, so that ended up working out really, really well. Plus, I had some cool things in it, like chia seeds and hemp seeds, goji berries, so all really yummy, delicious stuff. So I actually am really excited to try this. All right, on to the junk food portion of the snacks. And while these aren't really nutritionally quality foods, you do have to keep your morale up while you're on trail. So having something that's either nostalgic or a craving is always really good to have. So I actually found these Earth Balance vegan Cheez-Its. I've had these before. These are amazing. Products like these are the perks to going into a big chain store with a natural food section. You'll get to find some of these cooler types of snack foods. So got these. I am always a fan of packing up potato chips. The saltiness always is fantastic, as well as the crunch. So these were actually on sale 2 for $5. If I was on trail, I may have bought 2 bags, one to devour that night and one to take back on trail with me. But these are one of my favorite flavors, so these are going with me. And lastly, for our junk food is some sort of candy. Everyone has their preference. I rotated a bunch of them throughout the trip, whatever I was in the mood for. But I love Swedish Fish, Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, Mike and Ike's, Jelly Bellies, all of those are vegan and available at most stores. So rotate through. They make a lot of weird, funky flavors now, and it'll curb that sweet craving that you get. All right, so this was something I actually forgot to purchase, but some kind of drink mix is always good to get and have on hand. If you can't find the single serving drink mixes at a grocery store, emergencies are a fantastic option. And if you don't want to purchase a ton of them, go in with someone in your family, or end up putting some of the excess into a hiker box. But these are great for not having to drink plain water all the time, as well as getting a lot of extra vitamin C. And some of them actually have electrolytes and some more energizing sugars and things like that. So these are always a good option as well. So I actually found this in the store. I actually like to keep some kind of ramen packet on hand as an emergency calories, emergency meal, as well as maybe something extra on a big hard day or a cold morning where it's just, I need something to get me going. So something like this would work really well just to kind of have, since it weighs nothing, just in case you need something extra. So whenever I resupply from a grocery store, I make sure that my day that I'm leaving to go back on trail, I have a couple specific items that I pack out with me. And this holds true for days that I pick up mail drops as well. If I have access to a grocery store, these are the things I'm going to grab for the following morning. So first off, I always get some kind of juice. Always make sure it's like 100% juice because your body really needs that kind of fruit and sugars, as well as I love getting yogurt. So this is going to be my breakfast morning I leave a town. And it's just stuff that you don't really get on trail, and you need that extra sugar. You need those probiotics for keep your gut happy. So I always make sure I get this while I'm in town for the morning I leave to go back to trail. On the same note, I also love packing out bag salad mixes for that first day's lunch or dinner. This will stay fresh and fine for the entire day out of the fridge. So I will always pack out something green and fresh with me to be able to have that first day, to kind of just keep my spirits up and keep my body feeling really fresh and healthy. So I always make sure I pick up one of these on my way out of town. So as an important 10 essentials, you always want to make sure you have extra food. The perk to packing, to getting a resupply from a grocery store is you're always going to have some excess. So if you have too much, you can always leave stuff in a hiker box or give to a friend who might need something extra, or even go in on a friend with some of these items to split, to maybe give yourself more variety. But I will end up with an extra Belvita cookie, 2 extra of the brownies, and the extra ramen. So I will have extra food in case I'm extra hungry one of the days, or if I find myself in an emergency situation where I can't get to a town and I have to survive an extra day. I might not have as many calories, but I will be able to survive. So making sure you have a little bit of extra food is always very important on trail. So one of the final things is you want to make sure that you have enough Ziploc bags. I do encourage you to reuse these as often as you can. Sometimes they're dirty or ripped beyond repair, and in that case you'll need to purchase a new box. But I will advise that you try to look for these in a hiker box first, because people end up buying more than they need and leaving them behind. Likewise, if you don't find any and you end up do buy a box of these, leave the rest of them in the hiker box for someone else. It's just kind of a pay it forward type thing with the hiker box system. So, but you always try always to make sure to get the freezer bags, because these are able to be used with hot water. So you could essentially cook your food right inside of here, especially the couscous, and not have to worry about dirtying your pot. So, all right. So like I said, this was a 4-day resupply. Yes, I have more food than I would technically need for a full 4 days. but whatever is left over, you do have that knowledge going into your next resupply of what you have left over and what you will need to resupply for that next section. So this is 4 days at approximately 2,500 calories per day of food. And this whole resupply for 4 days only cost me $55. So I said I was going to try to keep it under 60. I was very successful. I was very stingy. Remember though, I did say that I spent a bit more time actually figuring all this out. And if you're in a time crunch, this will get a bit hectic. So really doing your research, knowing before you go, maybe making a list of the things that you need prior to getting to the store. That way you can go and hit up your specific areas pretty quickly and know exactly what you need, what you don't need, and what might be your luxury items. All right, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will be doing more videos like this in the future to prepare you for your upcoming thru hike. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video. I'm Fossey, the herbivore hiker. Thanks for watching.
Hey, the gorilla's loose!
Is that all I had to say?